So the England squad is announced today. Gareth Southgate has made a few surprises in his squad, and it's kind of a confusing squad in the sense that the players he's picked and the players he hasn't picked. Now, he has picked Harry Maguire, Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips, three players that are either not playing for the clubs or have left Premier League clubs and gone to Saudi Arabia in the case of Henderson. So the fact that Maguire's been picked, he's not kicked a ball for Man United this season, that is a surprise. You know, he's out of the team, and Southgate has always said in the past that he needs his players to be playing regular football. Now, Maguire didn't really play very often last season either for United, but he kept his place. Same with Phillips. Phillips made, two Premier League appearances for City last season, hasn't kicked a ball again this season, but he's in the squad. But Raheem Sterling, who's had a great start to the season at Chelsea, scored twice already for Mauricio Pochettino's team, isn't in the squad. Now, obviously, Raheem Sterling left the World Cup early last season, came back due to a burglary at his house and flew back in time for the France quarter-final. But he's not in the squad, and I find that surprising in the sense that Sterling has started the season well. He had a poor season last year at Chelsea when obviously lots of players struggled to perform to the best, but he's come back this season and he's playing well. Now, Southgate has always stressed in the past that if players are playing well for the clubs, they will perform for England. Now, Southgate hasn't lived up to that with Sterling. Sterling misses out while players, albeit in different positions, who are not playing, are in the squad. So it does suggest that Southgate has his favourites. We know he has his favourites. He picks players that have done well from in the past that aren't particularly playing well for the clubs. But certainly, in the case of Maguire, many would argue that he doesn't deserve his place in the squad. He's not playing for Manchester United and he's turned down the chance of a move to West Ham. Jordan Henderson, again, a player that left Liverpool to move to Saudi Arabia. The league is not the most competitive league. I'm surprised that he's in the squad considering that he's chosen to play in a league that's less competitive than the Premier League. It's going to be harder for Southgate to keep tabs on him. I think the time has come to move on from Jordan Henderson. The time has come to move on from Harry Maguire. Calvin Phillips, obviously younger than those two players and a player that would possibly have a chance to bounce back if he moved away from Man City and played regular football. But it is an unusual squad from Southgate in the sense that it does bang the drum of players having to play for their clubs to be ready to play for England. But as we've seen, Sterling out, Maguire, Henderson and Phillips in. Also, call-ups for Levi Colwill, first call-up for the Chelsea defender. Eddie Nketiah, the Arsenal forward as well. But I'm not sure Eddie Nketiah is a better bet for England than Raheem Sterling right now, but he's in the squad. So an interesting squad for the games against Ukraine and Scotland. But again, I don't think it's one that many would have expected a national team to pick on all being equal. But some players in the squad that probably don't deserve to be there. Sterling certainly deserves to be there, but isn't there. So interesting squad by Southgate.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.